Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. So, if you would ever have to lie to save face in front of a classroom, how committed would you be to that lie? This one's from user JeetAway account 101. Today I effed up by pretending to be deaf for the entire lockdown. So, a few months ago, or whenever it was that the lockdown started, I started an online course for a few subjects. To provide some background, these aren't my school classes or anything, and I've never met these people before. There are maybe 10 other kids in class, and the teacher is actually pretty great. So the first 2 days go pretty well, but on the third day I F up big time. We were in between a physics class that had already been going on for an hour, and I'd completely gotten distracted halfway through. I have an incredibly low attention span, and this was already too much for me. When the teacher called my name to answer his question, I had no idea what he'd been talking about, so I tried to Google it. However, I have crappy internet, so it took like really long to load, and the teacher was getting angry as to why I wasn't responding and why I was typing. So, completely freaking out, I decided to text him on the Google Meet chat and make an excuse that my laptop's audio and microphone are not working today, and I've been reading the subtitles, which take quite some time to load, so I hadn't quite gotten his question. In my immense panic, I phrased this somewhat vaguely and said, "I can't actually hear, I've been reading the subtitles, they take quite some time to load." To which the instructor said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I wasn't aware that you were deaf." In my intense panic and anxiety, I just went along with it. Dumb as F. It actually worked out fine. I'd type out all the answers sent to me and even bought a hearing aid that I sometimes wore in class. Now, I say sometimes because I don't actually have the focus and commitment to remember to put it on every class. When asked about it, I told the people in class that even with the hearing aid, I can't hear so much, so I don't usually bother wearing it. They bought it. Everyone in class likes me a lot now too, and they find me very endearing. There's a girl, Carla, who says I have the most beautiful smile she's ever seen. So this was actually going really well for me. But like most of my antics, this backfired on me big time. When I'd made this forsaken decision all that time ago, I was sure I'd get away with it. We were never going to meet in real life. However, about a week ago, the instructor decided to meet in real life as the lockdown in my country has been lifted. I spent all night watching videos of deaf people and trying to figure out how to behave. I decided to pretend to also be completely dumb so I wouldn't have to try to speak like them. It seemed very hard and I didn't want to try. So anyway, we meet up and everything goes well. No one uncovers my secret or anything. I spent the entire in real life meet with Carla, who is completely effing stunning in real life. She's smart, she's funny, she's kind. We keep handing each other notes on tissue paper and it's the cutest crap ever. I haven't ever been this attracted to anyone in my entire life. Towards the end of the meet, however, Carla hands me a tissue paper with one little heartbreaking sentence on it. "Will you date me? F." Panicking, I tell her I need some time to think and she's chill with it. I'm supposed to be meeting up with her tomorrow. I can't pretend to be deaf and dumb while dating her, it's effing impossible. But if I have to keep this charade up, I'll have to let her go and I don't want to do that either. There's also the other option where I tell her it was all an act. Best case scenario is the extreme embarrassment plus amazing girlfriend. And the worst case scenario is she thinks I'm an a-hole and I lose her anyway. Well OP, even though this is quite a funny story, lies do have short legs. And even though your lie had a really good run, it's put you in a position that you might lose a girl you actually like. So what do you guys think? Do you think OP tells the truth and still gets to keep the girl? Or do you think he doesn't tell the truth and becomes a voluntary mute for the rest of his life, which would be very weird? And as a side note, we know that mostly lies always affect somebody and always hurt somebody. But in this case, who gets hurt? Let's move on to some community comments to see what they have to say about this situation, and then we have an update from OP telling us about his date. Tom Chickpea says, show her this post. It explains everything. Let her read it and watch her face. If she's really cool, she might think it's hilarious and you'll be telling your grandkids the idiot move that led you to their grandmother. By the way, I'm rooting for it working out and someone basing a heartfelt rom-com on your story someday. Bruick53 says, might as well tell her the truth. She, like some of us, may find it effing hilarious. She already likes you for a reason. If that reason is because you're deaf, the relationship wasn't going to work anyways. If you want this to have any chance of turning into something, you are going to have to be honest with her right away. Tell her what happened and that you feel bad. Tell her that you like her too much to lie to her. If she likes you for you and not the fact that you're deaf, then I think it should work out. She may get turned off by the fact that you lied about being deaf. But I think if you're honest and make it clear that you don't want a relationship built on lies, it should work. I would make sure that you say something to the effect of you like her and you don't want any relationship with her to be built on a lie. Jelly Bandit says, consider this. Step 1. Keep up the charade and go on the date. Step 2. Woo her with your crudely written notes and winning smile, securing yourself many more dates. Step 3. Spend a few silent but delightful years with her, dodging her friends and family's questions about why you never learned sign language. She does learn sign language, by the way. You tried but kept zoning out during the classes, prompting you to convince your sign teacher that you are also partially blind. When will you learn, OP? Step 4. Get married and make good on your vow to spend the rest of your lives together, albeit silently and with crippling arthritis in your wrist from writing a lifetime worth of notes to your better half. Step 5. Get a dog. This doesn't really factor into the plan, but let's face it, you're gonna need someone to listen to you and make up for years of silence when she pops out to the shop. Then, if you have successfully executed steps 1 through 5, you are both very old. You are on your deathbed. She is lovingly standing by your side, sad but content that you had many years of silent happiness. You gesture to her to come closer. You lean forward and with your dying breath you say, okay, don't be mad, but OP's edit. She just texted me what time to pick her up. The date is actually tonight, not tomorrow, so I have way lesser time to make this decision than I expected. Haha, I'm like a disaster that keeps on happening. Anyways, you should have an update in about 6 to 7 hours, which is when I'll meet her. So now, let's move on to the update and see what happened on that date. So this is the update you'll have been waiting for. I just got back from the date with Carla. Basically, I prepared really hard for the date. Google what the appropriate flowers for apologizing for your lies are and got her white orchids. I then put on my best clothes and set out. She'd come to the date with a cute little notepad and 2 pencils for us to write notes in, which melted me instantly. But I was so anxious and nervous that at first I couldn't bring myself to tell her. But as we sat waiting for our order to arrive, I kinda snapped cause of guilt and scribbled down into the notebook, hey, there's not an easy way to break this, but I'm not actually deaf. Or dumb. To which she replied with, I know you're not deaf, but you are pretty dumb. Smiley face. At which point I said what the F out loud. She then laughed and explained that she thought I was so cute that she'd Googled me long ago and found my Instagram, which has highlighted stories from concerts where I'm screaming and vibing. So she only asked me out to figure out for how long I'd keep it going. So she was actually playing me the whole time. I was feeling pretty bummed that she only wanted to date me for that, but nevertheless, I apologized profusely and showed her the Reddit post to explain myself. Best move ever. Thank you so much to everyone in the comments who asked me to do this. She found the post funny and cute and adorkable. I told her I totally understand if she wants to end the date now, but she didn't. We had a great time and aren't officially dating or anything, but we did set a second date for next Wednesday. She also told me that while she understands why I did what I did and that anxiety, especially social anxiety, is so hard to deal with, but she also believes that I was a little offensive, especially with the hearing aid. She explained to me why that was so insensitive, and I'd like to apologize to anyone I might have offended on here. It really wasn't my intention. Also, for our second date, we're planning to volunteer at a center for deaf kids so I can redeem myself. Thank you, effing Reddit. You might have just got me a girlfriend. Well, OP, kinda looks like you got away with it, but hopefully you learned your lesson that lying can only get you into trouble. As for Carla, she seems like a really nice, intelligent girl, you know. She gave you a chance to explain. She knew you were lying and she still wanted to go out with you, and she's helping you atone for what you did. She seems cool. The question I have for you guys now is, Carla knows about this post, so she probably knows about this update where OP calls her almost a girlfriend or something like that, you know? Do you think she's cool with that? Hopefully she is. And hopefully Reddit did help OP get a girlfriend. And so we've reached the end of the video. I truly hope you guys liked it. If you did, go ahead and click like. Of course, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also, here are more videos from my channel that you might enjoy. And having said all that, I will see you guys on the next video.